Have you ever seriously thought about what happens when we create something that's way, way smarter than us? Well, today, that's exactly what we're getting into. We're tackling one of the biggest questions of our time, the rise of super-intelligent AI. Is it going to be the key to solving all our problems, or could it actually be humanity's final invention?
So, what are we really talking about when we say superintelligence? The way philosopher Nick Bostrom defines it, this isn't just a slightly smarter Siri. No, we're talking about an intellect that blows past the best human brains in pretty much every single field. I mean, everything, from scientific creativity and problem solving to social skills and, yeah, even manipulation.
And that's exactly why the stakes are just so unbelievably high. Creating something like this wouldn't just be another cool piece of tech. It would be a massive turning point for our entire species. Maybe the single most important thing that's ever happened in all of human history.
But, with that kind of incredible potential comes an equally incredible challenge. It's what experts call the control problem. And it really is the absolute core of the whole issue.
Let's just put it as plainly as possible. If you build something that is, by its very definition, smarter and more capable than you are, how on earth do you make sure you're still the one in charge? How do you guarantee it'll do what you intended it to do, and not, something else entirely?
And this problem, it really kind of splits into two big pieces. On one side, you've got the narrow problem. That's the technical, nuts and bolts challenge. How do you get an AI to follow your instructions to the letter? But then there's the much, much broader problem. How do we make sure this whole adventure actually leads to good things for humanity, when you factor in all the societal and ethical ripple effects?
And getting that control problem wrong, well, it wouldn't be a small mistake. The consequences could be absolutely staggering, potentially kicking off what some experts call cascading societal risks. For starters, our whole society could become incredibly fragile. Just imagine a world flooded with hyper-realistic, AI-driven fake news and constant surveillance. That kind of thing could completely shatter public trust, tear apart democratic institutions, and make inequality even worse than it is today.
Then you've got the economy. People like Bostrom are warning about massive disruption to the job market. We're not just talking about robots on an assembly line. We're talking about AI doing cognitive work, the stuff we thought was safe. This could make millions, even billions of human jobs just disappear.
And it gets personal too. The risks are profound. Think about AI systems with access to all our data. They could become masters of manipulation, pushing our buttons to make us buy things, getting us addicted to apps, and really, truly challenging our ability to make our own choices.
Okay, so that all sounds pretty terrifying, I know. But a future like that is not a done deal. And this is where the debate gets really, really interesting. Are these actual threats we should be worrying about right now? Or is this all just science fiction hype?
You can basically see two main camps here. On one side, you have thinkers like Nick Bostrom and Eliezer Yudkowsky. They're saying the risks are literally existential, and we have to solve this control problem before we build a superintelligence. But on the other side, critics like the scholar Becker are saying, whoa, hold on. They argue these predictions are speculative, unscientific, and that all this talk distracts us from the AI problems we're facing today, like bias and privacy.
But no matter which side of that debate you land on, this quote from Henry Kissinger, of all people, really hits home. He said, "Society is philosophically and intellectually unprepared for what's coming with AI. And that feeling that we're just not ready is something almost everyone can agree on."
So if we're not prepared, how do we get there? Well, the good news is the conversation is starting to shift. We're moving from just talking about the problem to actually trying to build some solutions.
Now, there isn't one magic bullet for this. It's more like a collection of strategies that all have to work together. First is AI alignment research. That's the hard work of designing AI that can actually understand and stick to human values. Then we need proactive governance, smart rules and ethical guidelines. This has to be a global effort, with countries working together on safety. And maybe most important of all, we have to make sure the incredible benefits of AI are shared by everyone, not just a handful of billionaires.
And Bostrom makes a really good point here. This can't just be a top-down thing. It has to be a multi-layered approach that happens at every level of society. You need global agreements, like the UN's big goals. You need national laws that fit different cultures. You need companies to act responsibly. And finally, it comes down to us, as individuals, using this tech ethically.
And the goal of all this work? Well, it's pretty clear. It's to steer this whole thing toward a future where superintelligent AI and humans can actually live together, side by side, so we can get all the amazing advantages of this technology without falling into the traps. Which brings us right back to that final, critical question. The path we choose right now, the research we decide to fund, the rules we put in place, The conversations we're having, all of it will determine the answer. Is superintelligence going to be our greatest tool, or will it be our final invention? Right now, that choice is still up to us.